I mean, honestly, I don't know why you would ask me to do something that would make me uncomfortable.
Well, you could at least try.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Yes. Alright, listen, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor. Big time favor, because we're trying to hit the 50k gang thing. You understand? We're trying to hit the 50k gang thing. Make sure you like it, share it, subscribe to it, yeah? Comment down below as well, you understand? Then click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you returnees, you already know the motto. Sing it with me. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Listen, I really appreciate you, gang. Boom. So yeah, talking about Insecure, Molly and obviously Andrew, I think really with their relationship it's really interesting because we obviously we start off with Molly talking in the psychiatrist place, and I think what was really interesting about that conversation is Molly's energy, yeah, and how she's tired of the narrative that she's in, right? And the narrative that's being fed is that obviously it seems like she's always in the thick of something heated. Yeah, her father's situation, we saw how she reacted to her brother in that particular instance. We saw the situation with Andrew and her brother. I understand it again in that instance. And obviously the Issa situation, I understand it again. What she's talking about is pain. So in the Andrew situation with her brother, Andrew should have really locked off that conversation from the jump. Shouldn't have allowed his brother to talk like that. And you know, what she's talking about is years of oppression, racism that we've had to face. And being questioned, gaslighting. Did that really happen?
It is a peace offering.
You should go.
It's gaslighting, racial gaslighting. So that's painful, I can understand that. Then with her father, obviously, again, I understand the fact that her father was, you know, probably a hero. And what she's talking about, this type of pain that she's talking about is the fact that when you're a hero, when you get close to your hero and realize a hero is really not a hero, they're a villain, or they've got villain traits, it hurts. And that's what she's talking about here. And I understand that point again. And then obviously we've got the Issa situation where now she's frustrated with Issa, and we saw that her behaviour at the block party really wasn't necessary, some of the things that she said, but she's hurt again by the fact that loyalty has not been in question. And I think it's a case of the fact that not being, I guess a lot of things are obviously playing up and causing this kind of, I would say, a consuming, I guess obviously a mixing pot of different violations she feels. You understand? I mean, if you look at her relationship with Issa in this season, I'm just going to go by this season. I didn't watch last season, I don't know, but this season, there were several points where I think Issa could have had a conversation with Molly, but decided to have a conversation about herself or what she was going through. Point in blank, the case where they were having a situation about her block party preparations. She called Molly, but not to have a conversation about how she's feeling, what's going on, but rather to have a conversation about herself. And that can be very painful, you know, and again, just kind of alluding to the fact that obviously she feels a certain type of pain towards Issa. I think that conversation with the psychologist was very good because it opened up her eyes to the fact that she's involved in every single situation. And it's how you react that's important. As much as obviously we want to be able to change other people's actions, the key thing is how are you reacting to the situation. So I got that. I think obviously
all this bringing up for you.
And I've just been feeling so tense all the time. Like I'm dreading something, but I don't know what.
And you think this stems from Issa?
She crossed the line by going behind my back with that.
when focusing on the fact that obviously then she got the call from Issa about coming to meet up, and we saw a little clip with the Issa calling Molly and Molly shouting at her. I guess it's twofold. One, how does Issa viewing Molly that she will be aggressive, antagonistic, and not open to a conversation? The flip side is also Molly that the fact that Issa is about to call Molly and only ask her about how she felt, right? And that is the flip side of it. So I get both sides of it, but we've seen a consistency where there has been Issa calling Molly to say, hey, like, oi, look, you know, about me, rather than actually having a conversation about them, right? But like I said, there have been obviously some sharp words from Molly towards Issa that I'm not really feeling either. Some of the little sly remarks that were made earlier on in the season, you know, about saying that she was messy, she's always in a messy situation, yeah, I just felt like it was not necessary, right? And so that obviously when she finished up the psychologist conversation and she goes home, what's interesting is the way that her and Andrew actually react. So when they're sitting down and then she begins to divulge about the situation, I love the fact that Andrew's giving her great eye contact. He's really listening. He's got his arm around her. He's very close to her. They're talking, they're conversating. And what's happening is that now he's trying to understand her viewpoint. Now, we've seen Andrew on more than one occasion do this very same thing. I think we saw this also in the bedroom before he went to Mexico, where he was also paying attention, listening to her, and then he gives little comments, not heavy. He doesn't choose a side. You know, he's tried even in the block party to try and get her to understand that that's her friend. He's trying to patch things together. All right, he's a patchmaker. He ain't trying to get Molly killed. You understand? When Molly begins to speak and say her point of view, I already knew it was going to turn into a problem. As soon as he said his comment, I knew she was going to take it as you're being disloyal and you're not supporting me. And that's when you realize, I feel like Molly is looking at the situation incorrectly.
Anything you feel like you could have done differently in the moment?
Honestly, no.
She's looking at it from a personal lens where it's only about what pain she's feeling and not about what she's inflicted. Therefore, when Andrew begins to speak and say, hey, I actually don't agree with your viewpoint, or I'm saying, look, can you consider a different viewpoint? She gets annoyed, right? And, you know, Andrew's a person who's trying to understand. I mean, we had this conversation about this in Mexico when she had another attitude where, you know, after that incident with her brother, you know, she should have just been, look, she should have told him, listen, I didn't want it to happen. You know, I know it's your brother, etc. I was hurt by the situation. Do you get me? But she didn't. And the same thing we're seeing here is that now, as she's having a conversation with Andrew, he gives his opinion. She then goes, all right, and gets frustrated and then separates herself from him. All right? And, you know, what she's doing is, what she doesn't realize is that she's beginning to self-sabotage. This is what we're talking about. This is what Issa was talking about. You're beginning to self-sabotage. You're getting something good and you're self-sabotaging. Why are you self-sabotaging, Molly? And oftentimes we do that because we're scared of love. We're scared of, we're so used to being on our own. We're scared of being corrected. We're scared that if we're corrected, it also means that we are overly generally wrong in everything. We can't trust what we say. Sometimes because we haven't had loyalty for a very long time, we haven't had somebody back us, that somebody even just disagreeing with your point of view makes you feel like you're being attacked.
Whatever she wanted to say. I mean, what else was I supposed to do?
I don't know. Maybe you can meet her halfway.
Rather than actually looking and going, okay, look, what's he actually saying? Okay, he's not saying he's not on my side. He's just saying that, listen, maybe you should look from his point of view. Okay, let me look from his point of view. And the point is that Molly has a self-righteous kind of viewpoint to this, which is that she's definitely right. But in this particular case, she isn't definitely right. She played a part in the tumble of this relationship. She played a part in the degradation of the relationship. She played a part in the fact that the relationship has crumbled. And she should be part of the process of building it back up. Okay? Cool. So then we obviously move on, and then we hear him talking about the fact that, you know, his brother's in town and they've got tickets. Now, Molly originally, I know she in the last episode when they go to Mexico, she said obviously, look, she gave in and said, look, I'm gonna come with you. We're gonna do some stuff. I know I was tired, but let's do some stuff. And I guess now she's given up that power to do that. Now she's obviously did that in the last episode. She's probably thinking to herself now in this episode, oh, well, I gave in last time and look what happened. Man was being racist to me. Now you want me to come to a basketball game and then potentially this could happen again. So I think what should have happened is actually on both sides there should have been another conversation. Andrew should have been like, listen, look, if my brother goes off on one, I'm on his case. He's not going to be able to go off on one, right? Like, you can't expect, and I know a lot of people might be thinking money's not right for this, but I'm going to be honest with you. When you've suffered racism over and over again, and then you meet someone who's a family member and they're also racist, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to have to deal with that again. So what the person has to do is give me an assurance. When we get there, I'm locking it down. I should never have to feel like I shouldn't have to feel like I have to always defend myself in front of your family. You got to do that. That's your family.
I want to get in the way of you guys having fun. Mm-hmm. You can make it like a little guy's night out.
Okay.
So if you want me to play house and play nice, defend me. I said this in the last episode review when I talked about Mexico. I said, Andrew should have been on job. As soon as your brother started, on job. Don't let it run. Don't let it run. Why are you letting it run for? So that's the same thing. You should come in and say, listen, look, we're going to go to this basketball game. Look, I'm going to make sure that he's not going to say, if he says anything, we leave. United front. But if you don't do that, what you're saying is take it. And what people are missing behind this is that not just black women, but black people in general have had to take it for so long. Why am I now taking it in a relationship? Makes no sense. So I do get her point in this particular aspect and why she wanted to dodge. Now, because she didn't get that assurance, she also felt like she wasn't going to go and risk it and get into another situation. But she also has to understand that Andrew also really cares about family and this is the situation. So what she should have done was that, look, can you make assurances, babe? Look, we need to start discussing. Babe, can you make assurances that when we go to this basketball game, like, he's not going to start something? And if he does start something, can we go? Like, so it's twofold. That the person also has an objective and say, look, this is how I feel. I don't feel comfortable around him. So, and you know, when you want to be able to discuss something on a realist thing, if she doesn't begin to speak and say, hey, this is how I feel, I'm vulnerable, because the conversation shows you're vulnerable by saying, hey, look, I understand you want us to go to this thing, but I'm going to be very honest with you, like, I'm in a place where I don't want to be racially, I don't want to be having to, I don't have to explain that I'm being racially, I'm having racial injustice against me and have to explain and be gaslighted. And I'm a little bit hurt by the fact that that happened. So baby, can you make some assurances that when we go there, you're going to shut it down or we're going to leave? Then he can see that you're vulnerable. When you say, I don't care, I'm not going, and you try to make excuses, oh, I'm not going. All that happens is it makes you look like you're being very strong. And then you play into a stereotype that, oh, she's being strong. Okay, cool. Then I have to play hardball too. And then now he's disappointed. But actually, he doesn't have to be disappointed. He has to understand. And the reason why we're disappointed is because we don't understand what the person's actually really saying to us. There's a lack of communication here. So, now he goes to the party, he goes to the basketball game, he comes back, he's come home, she's coming into the house, and she's having a discussion with him around, he said obviously the basketball game was really good, shame we weren't there. Now, when he's talking to her, what's important is that he states, you know, it would have been good for you to be there. Now, when he says obviously it would have been good to be there, we need Molly not to go on a hard tip.
You're just never gonna see him again? I mean, he's my brother.
Okay, I know. But, I mean, honestly, I don't know why you would ask me to do something that would make me uncomfortable.
So when Molly's beginning to speak and says, well, you know, obviously, I was, obviously, why would you want me to, why would you think I was going to come somewhere I'm not comfortable with? What it then goes into is that the girl's not going into emotions. Molly, go into emotions. Go into the emotions. How do you feel? When you start saying, oh, you don't know I want to go somewhere I'm not comfortable, all you've done is put up a wall and you've blocked everything. What should have had been said there is that, listen, okay, but you know that obviously in a situation, yeah, that he said this and that. Be precise. That's why point, evidence, explanation. You know that he said this. Evidence was, last time we spoke, last time we was in the thing, this what happened. And so therefore I felt like this and I didn't feel comfortable going. Now, when you've explained that, he can't now come back again, like I keep saying, with the attitude he's going to come with, which is going to be like, I'm hurt by what you've done. Like, why would you not understand what I'm saying? You know his family, See, and Molly has a point. Like, obviously you have a point, like, which is that, why would you want to go somewhere where you're going to be hurt again? So, it's about being able to explain the point, evidence, explanation, right? And without it, it doesn't leave you with space to be able to explain how you feel. And it doesn't allow you, not just how you feel, it doesn't allow you room to be able to explain the truthfulness of what you're feeling and how that's impacting you. You understand? Like you saying, obviously, I mean, I don't know why you expect me to go wild and straight away puts up a wall. It's not explaining that you're vulnerable. And this is the most keyest point. So I understand that was argument. I love the fact they put up a united front when they were talking to obviously Issa and obviously my guy Nathan.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Knew it.
When they were when they were downstairs and upstairs, right? And you can see that obviously Andrew's like, listen, you should stay. Like, Molly's like, but then she goes, okay, yeah, fine. I got so much Chinese. So you know, and again, this reiterates itself again later on. When the drinking game comes out with Issa, and Issa mentioned about the drinking game, and Andrew goes, yeah, he holds her hand and says, yeah, let's do this. You understand? Because Andrew, what he's doing is a very smart guy. I mean, I love this guy. What he's doing is really trying to make sure that obviously he's trying to make Molly feel comfortable, but he's also trying to help repair. He's also trying to help repair and get her to a place where she's not seeing binary numbers, zeros and ones, but he's seeing that what you're seeing, this is your friend. Repair the situation. So then obviously when we have the part where she texts Issa instead of texting Andrew, this should have been a climb down by Molly. Molly should have climbed the frick down. So now when you're at the end and you're chasing your friend outside, sorry, you know, my friend, my bad, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You know, I was wrong for doing that. You know, my bad, right? You should be climbing all the way freaking down. When you don't climb all the way freaking down, what you're saying is, you don't think you've done wrong. And then for obviously when you obviously say, she said obviously, and then Issa responded by saying, you know, she can see tears in her eyes, Issa's tears in her eyes, and you can see that Issa is saying obviously, well, it's okay if you don't consider friendship to be anything else. If you think we're two different people now, then okay, well, it is what it is. And then when that happens, instead of Molly saying, look, do you know what? No, let's work this out. But instead you go militant again by saying obviously what, you are inviting me out. Just say what you need, Molly. You know, someone who doesn't say what they need, you're expecting someone to gratify the needs, but say what you need. Because we don't know, we're not mind readers. Issa obviously has a blind spot. She can't spot that she needs to discuss everything in the past and bring it forward. She only thinks about the block party. It's not just a block party, it's everything else before that. I understand what you're saying, Molly. But you need to explain. Point, evidence, explanation. Do you understand? Or PEW, point, and then your expectation, and then let the person say their wants. So it's important to have that, but she didn't do that. And so actually, Molly's attitude comes off looking stank, looking just off, looking bad. When really all it requires for her to communicate and say, hey, this is actually how I feel. And I feel stupid because I'm trying to be strong, I try to be prideful, and actually I just need to surrender that and say, listen, I want you as a friend, but I don't know how, I'm suffering at the moment. Let's keep it real, guys. Open up your mouths. Speak. You understand? So assuming that someone understands what you're saying. Don't assume. Speak. Yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to do a body language one as well. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads. Whoop, whoop. Don't forget to obviously click on backworldtube.com where we watch our TV shows as well. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded.